Okay, great video for today from Trader Jim, live trading video. Just wanted to show a chart of the fib grid before we begin, and something how the fib grid can alert you to when to increase stops because volatility is increasing. Here you see on the chart the volatility represented in gray here from the previous sessions, and you can kind of scroll back on the chart and you can see volatility fluctuate. Now notice the last three sessions here, how volatility has increased quite a bit. This is indicating about 100% of its range, more than 100% of its range here and here, almost 200%. And then today, more like 125% or so. And so observing this on the fib grid can help you to take a look at your stops and make sure you're giving the market enough room. And that is the lesson of today's video, which is setting your stops too tight and knowing when to adjust your stops. Let's take a look at Trader Jim's video for today, Wednesday, December 4th.
All right, December 4th. What a difference a day makes. So let's review quickly. So yesterday I was extremely bearish upon a break of 82.85, and I thought 82.85 would lead to at least 82.07, possibly lower. I think I said 81.65, and I think the low was actually something like 81.67 or something like that. Now, I was actually very surprised on the daily closes. So now markets are fractal in nature, right? So they're just different time frames, but it acts the same throughout the different time frames. So now on a daily close, they actually closed above 82.07, which actually a bit surprised me, but that close above 82.07. So now if you can just pause the video if you want and try to think, right? Just based on what the way I've been explaining stuff, the way I see the market as just constant tests of support and resistance areas. 82.85, a break of that cost 82.07. Well, what happens if we close above 82.07? 82.85, right? With a minor level of 82.55 in between, but it's not a major level. It's just a place of a possible reversal, which did not happen. We went straight up to 82.85 and beyond. So what am I looking for today? Well, at this point, I have to be bullish above 82.85. And actually, if you think back on the numbers, right, over the past maybe 10 days, what was above 82.85 that was important to me? If you've been watching the videos, you should know it's 83.60 with a very minor area of 83.15. Now, so far, they're kind of shy of 83.15 and this kind of a very minor resistance. 83.15 has some importance, not horrendous. It's kind of equivalent as far as importance to 82.55, which is just a minor kind of an area. But still, it could act as resistance. But I am bullish above 82.85, looking for 83.60. So my templates, at least at this point, now we're still more than an hour before market open, but I am on the bullish side for now, and my templates, at least as of right now, will be bullish, and I will change it if by the opening they're going to start breaking 82.85. It just seems unlikely now. So you see this spike down over here, right, you know, to that 82.85 area, and it was rejected. So that's actually the bullish sign, right? They tested it and bounced right off of it. Bullish. Minor hiccup at 83.15 area with overall target of 83.60. Okay, so getting ready to open. I do like the slight retracement here. More comfortable with it. This 83.15. So it didn't quite get there. But remember, I always talk about zones, right? It's kind of a resistance here. I don't think it's a major resistance. At least it should not be. I like this dip, so I can buy lower when the open range appears at 9:30. Longs only. Very good close yesterday, above 28.07. I'm sorry, 82.07 is the open range, and they're dipping lower. So the arbitrator, again, in this case, keeps me from a long trade, keeps me from a losing position. Even though I'm not participating in the short, at least I am not taking a loss on a long trade, which is huge. In trading, if you have a way to avoid as many losing trades as possible, it's not possible to avoid all losing trades, but if you can avoid some. 82, 85, remember that number, they need to stay above it. It's okay if they spike it. They need to test it, that's fine. But they cannot start spending a long time below 82, 85, or my plan is just not going to work out today. So they're coming back up now. All right, so we have a long in the ES with the positive higher time frame, Super Enco 6 with a higher sensitivity, bars are closing up, and we have a long. The Nasdaq is lagging behind a bit, appears to be slightly weaker than the S&P, but I'm just hoping the S&P can drag it higher. So there was this test of, so far the low looks like 87.50. So I guess we could count it as an 85 zone, a test of the 85. Now, as long as they can form up on it now, then they're going higher. They just need to break through 83.15, and then we're really home free here. The S&P is stronger though, pushing higher. And now we have longs in everything. A sharp move higher now. Really going at it. So as far as the location of the Nasdaq trade, would like it, like I wish that 500 tick bar would close closer to the open range, but it is what it is. It's still decent. We just got to break through the 15. This is it now over here. This is the test area. They break through it, and it's at least 35, at the very least. But it is a tough area, so we'll see how they handle it. The S&P is definitely stronger here. So, yeah, they stopped me out here almost to the tick, looks like. I gotta stay bullish above 82, 85, so I'm just gonna keep it on longs. So far, the 15 proved to be stronger resistance than I anticipated. I still believe as long as we stay above 82, 85, they will break the 15 with an immediate target of 35 and then 60. Do they need to retest 85 again? Well, at this point, I want them to retest 85 just to make sure that they really can hold it, since I'm out of the trade anyway. The S&P is holding, barely. All right, so another long as we are above the open range with a blue bar. Trying it again. I don't know if I even showed any. Then. So they're going to try again. I just got to stay bullish. A bit disappointed with that stop, but the plan remains the same. You know, if somehow this bar closed closer, I would not have gotten stopped out here. It's stopping. I mean, the low was not far below where it took me out here. I really prefer to take with an open range filter closer to the open range. But that's just the way things worked out. Still believe in higher prices, still believe in them being able to break 83.15 to the upside and test the 30 to 35 first and then higher. So why am I getting out here? Because I don't like to be down. I took a loss, and once I take a loss, I am okay with them missing an opportunity and not hitting the daily target. But for me, I'm always concerned with the downside. So I would get out just so I can pretty much break even. After taking a loss, it was a very unfortunate loss. You know, I got stopped out. I think just because I got in too far, but no, that's just how it happens. So now I'll just wait, and my longs are still on. You know, I still believe we could go higher, but we are getting closer to the 15, which a few minutes ago proved to be fairly strong resistance, and it might happen again. And I just want to not be down. So now I'm just down $38, which is no big deal. I can live with that. If I miss the move higher, so be it. So the S&P is very strong. Now here's the 16. Remember in the video, was it yesterday? I was talking about closing below 31.16 was bearish. So 16 in S&P could prove to be at least a temporary resistance. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to break even here. There's no reason now for this to be a losing trade. And my target is actually not far anyway, so it's right around the 16 area, slightly higher there. Here's the 15 being tested at 83.15 in the NASDAQ. S&P hitting its target. Here's the 16, beautiful. Now, the S&P trade, in my eyes, was just much better. Let's show the good stuff here. Computer clock and sales. So let's just enlarge this. So at first, when the market opened up, there was no trade. We were in a bearish on a higher time frame. So there was this pullback, and the other trader kept me from taking a long trade. And then beautiful location. I like the S&P location today much better than the NASDAQ location, which is why this loss resulted. This location was just too far from the open range. Of course, I have no control over that. I mean, if it was slightly closer, this loss would not happen. Also, my money management here is at 40 ticks. I think Randy has it on 75. So if I used Randy's money management, again, I would not be subject to this losing trade, which would make a difference, definitely. Well, sure enough, here's another loss. Another stop here. This is going to be to the tick again, really? Still have the longs on. Because it's still above 85. I just wonder if I need some larger stops, maybe just to give it a chance to breathe. Well, that's why I like to play defensive, you know. Once I'm down, I like to, and I have the opportunity to get even. I go to even just in case of situations like these. Gotta protect the downside. So of course they stopped me to the tick, And turn around, blue bars again over the open range, and there is another long. So the Nasdaq today continues to frustrate. All right, well, once again, if I'm up 10 points, I will try to get out and be even. The thing is, 10 points from here would mean definitely a break above that 83.15. All right, I'm just gonna let it trade. All right, well, I stopped out on this account for the day, $500 stop. Unfortunately, it really just fooled me today, just did not give me the drive. We're still above 82.85, so I am still bullish, but this account is done. Hit its daily loss. And again, it just, looking back at this, it just seems I did not give it enough room. Maybe if I had ran this idea of a much larger stop of 75 ticks, it would have been way below here. So all of these losses wouldn't take place. I mean, I just got chopped up here. That's really what it is. Okay, I am back about 12:30. Well, what was a bit of a frustrating morning with the Nasdaq. The S&P cooperated beautifully. The Nasdaq did not. That 83.15 proved to be a much stronger area of resistance than I anticipated. I mean, I was aware of 15. I know the significance of it, but I still did not expect it to be that much of a resistance. But as you can see, I am still on longs. We went lower, didn't quite test 85. I would actually feel more comfortable if they tested at 85. Earlier they came, I think, as low as 87. I guess could qualify as an 85 zone, but now they're definitely just went down to like 94. But still, I will be taking a long if the market confirms, if the arbitrator confirms that we should go higher. So at this point, I wanted to answer a comment. It was a great comment in yesterday's video. It really was about zones. So yesterday, I was basically saying once we broke 82.85, I thought it would go down to 82.07 and then possibly break 82.07. The question was, well, why did I think we would break that 82.07? We were way above it. So first of all, why 82.07 at all? So what if we broke 82.85? So again, the way I look at the market, excuse me 1 minute. Sorry about that. The way I look at the market is it is constantly in the process of testing levels, support, resistance levels. There are other levels as well, but it's in this constant flux of movement because it tries to find a balance. So if you remember, and if you're not sure, go back a couple of weeks or more in the videos, and you're going to find the same numbers kind of repeat, right? So how did we get to 82.85 from underneath? Well, we began to close above 82.07, and I said, well, above 82.07 would lead to 82.85. Closing above 82.85, I began to mention the 83.60. When we got to 83, when we first touched 83.60, I said, we're not going to close the day. Chances are we would not close the day above 83.60 on the first try. Sure enough, we did not. We retraced. The market gathered enough energy then to break through 83.60. And once we closed above 83.60, I said, well, then now it's 84.37. We reached 84.37, went beyond it, and then started to close below it. So closing below 84.37 will now open up the door again to 83.60. Why am I saying all this? Well, by the time we broke 82.85, if you can imagine a momentum of a rock, let's say, and the difference between it falling from first story window and 10th story window, right? The momentum is much stronger the higher the floor is, right? So first floor, not so much, 10th floor, quite a bit. So this fall began from that 84.37 zone. So by the time we broke 82.85, it was really gathering strength. It was because of that fact that I believed that 82.07 would not hold the market, at least not immediately. So I hope I did not, don't remember exactly what I said in that video, but I hope I did not say we will for sure break 82.07, because the fact is 82.07 is pretty important. I guess what I was thinking is there was a very good chance that we would break 82.07 because of the momentum of the move. So even though we broke 82.07 though, so I think I said 81.65, and I believe the low was somewhere between 65 and 70, maybe like 67 or something. But then we closed the day above 82.07. Now that is very bullish. In other words, even though it was able to temporarily break that 82.07 downside, it was not able to contain the market there. The market closed above 82.07, which is why we are here now. So that was I hope it wasn't extremely confusing. I mean, I realized I was throwing a lot of numbers, but these are the same numbers I was talking about for weeks now. And again, if you're not sure, just go back on the channel, look at the previous videos, look at all of the month of November, and you're gonna kind of hear me saying the same numbers over and over. I don't just make numbers up as they happen. These numbers, to me, have significance. So, again, I appreciate the comment. I appreciate the question. Great question. And if I didn't make any sense, I apologize. Again, you can ask again. I will be looking at the comments this evening. If it's completely not clear, I will try and find another way of saying it. Well, anyway, so now looking for longs, right? We're still above 82.85. And above 82.85, right? So I've been saying, should take us, if we can get past this 83.15, and today it's just been very sluggish. If we can get past 83.15, then pretty much the only thing between us and 83.60 is 83.30 to 35, and if I take a long from this area here, then I'll hit my daily target anyway before the 35. So if they'll do it, I mean, you know, from this point, I mean, they've been so sluggish today, they could very well just drop and start closing hourly and maybe even daily below 82.85, in which case tomorrow I'm going to have a completely different outlook on the market. But let me pause the video here. So let's see if we get filled here. I think I say it every time I show this chart. It looks like the bar is not moving, but I assure you, price does change. Let me show you the time and sales. It's just the way you can see over here too that, you know, price is changing. Just it's one of the features of this bar, this Hakinashi bar. It does not respond to every tick. It's just the way the bar is formed, which gives the long. Which I think, you know, at least part of the reason why it's able to cut down on so much noise and why it's so consistent and kind of showing market direction. It does cut down on noise. It doesn't respond. It doesn't move on every tick. So here's the long, and I imagine probably take the rest of the day for this to turn into something. At the very least, we should be retesting that 15 area, still kind of hoping they'll break through it. All right, gonna pause the video. All right, well, they're moving higher. It's getting late. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover one position and then maybe bring the other one to break even. That's what I'm going to do. If they keep moving higher, that's great. But that 15 has been such a challenge today that I just don't want at the end of the day for them to decide to bring it all the way back down. Been a challenging day, no question. I mean, the S&P was beautiful in the morning, very smooth. But the NASDAQ gave me a hard time today. So I just want to make sure that overall I am up for the day. Okay, so one contract is covered, small profit. And second contract is at break even. I'm just gonna let it go now till the end of the day. So anyway, toward the end of the day, as we are waiting, I just want to go back to this template of the NASDAQ from the morning that stopped out. You know, professional chess players always spend a lot more time analyzing games they lost than games they won because they feel they can learn a lot more from games they lost. And, you know, looking at this template and why did it fail today? It's not the right way to say it. The template did not fail as far as the auto trader did everything right. The auto trader did everything I told it to do. It worked perfectly. The problem came with me, right? So not giving it enough room. I only gave it 40 ticks, and that created the problem. Because if I had it at 75, the way Randy had it at 75 ticks, right? So let's say along at 10, 83.10, and there was this low here of like 97, this would have held. The stop would have held, and this loss would not happen. This loss would not happen. This loss would not happen. Then there was another test of the downside, this time to around 94, and again it would have held. A 75 tick stop would have held here. And then I would not, I'll probably be around break even pretty much at this point, but the point is it wouldn't have been a losing day for this account. So there is a lot to learn from days where a particular template, so in this case would be a particular account, get stopped. And the lesson here is I need to perhaps raise the stop loss from 40 to 75 the way Randy had it. 75 tick stop would not result in a stop out for the day. So yeah, just wanted to kind of share this, you know, because I always, if things go wrong for me, I always just like to go over it and see what can I do differently next time, you know, because definitely I was right in a direction. I said above, no, 82, 85 would result in higher prices. I did not expect 83.15 to be that much of a resistance area, that is for sure. I thought they might hesitate a bit, then break through it, and go to 35, and that's just not what happened. Now, the S&P trade was just beautiful. It was, it's a bit larger. It just waited for prices to turn around from this retracement and just took a single long trade. The bars did not even change to red. It was just one smooth move down. That was easy and beautiful. The NASDAQ gave me a hard time today, but it's okay. I mean, that's what trading is all about. That's why trading is such a difficult endeavor. Okay, well, getting late in the day. My kids will be coming home soon, so I'm just gonna end it here. Okay, and I am done. Tiny profit today, not much to speak of, but still green. Tough day. After such great volatility over the past couple of days, today was definitely challenging with the volatility, but still positive, so that's all that counts at the end of the day. All right, see you guys tomorrow.